So we talked about all the cloud stuff. The next one is No More Heroes 3, reconfirmed for 2021. That could be any time. But we also got the surprise drop of No More Heroes 1 and 2, which is now available on the
Yep.
Switch, which we talked about a bit earlier. I'm not familiar at all with this franchise, as much as I hate to say. Uh, I do want to try it, but I've been seeing a lot of good things. Like people have been saying the HD upgrade, everything looks and plays really smoothly.
I think you
Um,
should play it. Honestly, like
I
it's
feel
like
I
one.
need to.
It's such a just like it's a game where you can really like you don't have to think. You can turn your brain off. You can play it. You
I
can
like
have
that.
fun. You can recognize the shout outs, the references, how just like over the top it is. I think honestly, I think it's a game that I would bet money on that you would like one, play two, and get hype for three.
Yeah, they should definitely do something like this with Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Give it to us,
R.I.P.
Nintendo.
I'm
How
gonna
much?
say love it on that one though.
Yeah. Does anybody know if the motion controls are intact? Because 1 and 2 was on the Wii, right?
Yes, I hope so because that was like, I mean, it's. I don't even know if you could play the
Oh, it's
original
just
with
20
a
bucks.
standard
Oh,
classic
that's an
control.
easy. That's an easy buy at 20 bucks.
Yeah, yeah. I hope they do a physical release. I'd buy physical.
I can see them doing it eventually, maybe a bundle with the third one or something.
That'd be dope.
I might do that, Michelle. I might do a stream. Then next up, we got a cute little game called Time UFO, which was announced, which looked like it was set in the Kirby universe. It is developed by HAL Laboratories, so it's very possible. Love it like a hater, man.
I'm gonna give it a like it just because it was kind of like broke up the presentation, but it was also like I don't know, like a cute little game from hell. Thank you.
Yeah, it's always 2020. There should have been a game from HAL every month just to make us feel
Yeah,
safe.
give us
Uh, it,
serotonin.
it does look cute. Did you catch the price on it?
No, I did not actually.
That's the only thing that would be a deal breaker for me. It looks like a nice little time waster. It's adorable and everything. But if it's more than like $7, I'm like no. So Gadget
Ooh,
Mike says
ooh,
7.99. Treon says $9.
eight
Somewhere.
ninety nine.
8.99.
Yeah, well, that's in the
Okay, that's $9. Yeah.
eShop here. Yeah.
Okay, they're keeping it under the $10 range. Anybody here play it? I also like it, by the way. Extensive game review says the motion controls for No More Heroes are intact, but it's not quite one to one. Okay. Well, you guys have convinced me to try No More Heroes. That might actually be our Wednesday stream game,
Yeah.
guys. And maybe I'll do a quick review on that. And then finally, we ended off with a very nice surprise of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. First, the confirmation that you can play as all of the Divine Beasts, and then second, that you could play a demo, all of Chapter 1 right away, and if you buy the game, your save file carries over to the full game, which is honestly some of the best ways to play a demo. Love it, like it or meh.
Love it. I love everything that they're doing with this.
I would say love it, but I made a review where I said I don't love it, so I feel I would be a hypocrite. So I'm going to say I like it, even though deep inside my little yellow shell, I love everything about Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, anyways.
I don't know that they're treating this like they treated like Breath of the Wild at like a fraction of the horsepower that they had behind that marketing campaign. But at the same time, like there's certain things about what it does for the canon, what it does for the characters, what it does for the world building more of this Breath of the Wild atmosphere. The fact that it's coming so soon, it looks so polished. They release a demo. It's like all these are not missteps, and I feel like if something, this just tees up, that just going back to the Nintendo being in this drought is just like they are working on stuff. It's just more proof that they've got more stuff to reveal to us, and I don't know. It kind of makes me feel confident wherever they're going with it. It's a much wanted stepping stone onto the next whatever whatever Zelda is next.
Did you play in handheld mode or on TV?
I haven't played it yet, so
Oh,
I
you
haven't
have not.
downloaded. Yes, but I haven't played it yet.
Do you know about the twist?
The twist.
It happens right at the beginning. Like for anyone, it's a spoiler, but it's almost not a spoiler because it happens in the initial cutscene of the game. But I guess you don't know, so I'm
No, but you
hesitant
can go
to
ahead and
talk
spoil
about it.
it. Spoil me, Jason.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for anyone else. Like I know some people like to be completely in the dark about a game like this, and even though it is revealed right in the beginning of the demo, it's still
Is it the time travel aspect?
it is a time travel aspect. Are we just gonna go
Okay.
right into it? Okay, if you don't want a
I
spoiler,
saw it in the chat, but I've also heard some of it on Twitter and stuff.
right? It's all out there. If you honestly, if you don't want to get spoiled, what time is it? Are we gonna cover more topics? Probably not. But just end the podcast now. Come back in 10 minutes. I won't blame. Like
Shut
go
your
play the
eyes.
demo right now. But we're gonna get into it. So now is your last chance to just stop this podcast because we're gonna talk about that initial spoiler. All right, you ready?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so we all thought that this was basically the prequel, the story being told of the Great Calamity. And everyone's like, oh, this is going to be a really shitty story because we all know how it ends, right?
Yeah.
However, the plot twist is when this demo starts, you learn that, you know, that cute little egg thing that we've been seeing, that little guardian thing, the pet guardian? That is a device that somehow traveled back in time to before the calamity happens and tells the heroes that the calamity happens. And so now you're playing as all the main characters who know what's going to happen and you're trying to stop the calamity. And so now it's all of, are we talking about another timeline? Is Breath of the Wild timeline where the calamity happens? And are we going to be exploring a new timeline where the calamity doesn't happen? Will Breath of the
Did you
Wild
watch did you watch Umbrella Chronicles?
I watched the
Or
first season.
Umbrella
Umbrella,
Academy?
yeah, I watched the first season.
Oh. Ah.
Um,
Okay.
but I'm not that tied to it, so I don't care about spoilers.
No, it's the second season is very similar to that this like same like plot line.
Okay. So, I mean, it's really interesting because now it even sets up so many possibilities for Breath of the Wild 2. Because maybe Breath of the Wild is one timeline where everything goes to shit, but Breath of the Wild 2 is the timeline where maybe the calamity was stopped, Ganon was sealed away, and then Breath of the Wild 2 is that. There's so many possibilities now. Nintendo just was like, oh, your expectations? Pfft.
Hey, did our cams go off on the stream?
Uh, nope. No, we're still here. Why?
Oh, I don't know. On my stream, it just shows our talking blocks.
Nope, I can see us.
Oh,
Maybe
cool.
we got a copyright claim for being too beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Show Jason my bush.
Showed everybody your bush.
Who hasn't seen my bush at this point? You know what I'm saying?
I've
By the
got.
way, this is White Claw that I'm drinking.
What is up with that drink? I've heard so much about it. Is it as good as they say it is?
Not really, but
Why are you drinking it?
it's got alcohol in it, and
Alcohol.
yes, sir.
So, do you have any theories based on knowing that? Does that kind of throw your mind in a loop?
I mean, I feel like I'm on the same level, the same plane as you. Is that it? Different timelines because I don't necessarily, especially when it comes to Zelda, I can't say like, oh, this is what happened, because things change all the time, and there's still in my mind in terms of like the Zelda franchise. I mean, there's still a lot of things that we don't know,
Hmm.
and especially when Miyamoto's gone back and said, confirm stuff, then something else changes with one game, or we get a side of Link that we haven't seen before. So I don't know. I think it's again like going back to the whole marketing scheme of things. I think this is very well done. This gives some intrigue to the franchise. it sets the stage for whatever comes next. Because what if, the Breath of the Wild 2 is that the calamity never happened, and now Link and Zelda are teamed up to kind of figure this out, or if it's some sort of offshoot from both games. I don't know, but I do like the fact that a lot of this much care has gone into building something like a Hyrule Warriors game that's like not your traditional Zelda game.
It's kind of crazy. By the way, if you want my full thoughts on it, I made a video about it. I wish Sean was here so I could find. I put out 3 videos this past week. I wanted to just be like, Sean, I put a video out. I put a video out, but nope. Um,
Sean, you son of a bitch!
Please bring back Mitch throughout. Oh, you got to be Mitch for the Game Awards. When we do our
I can't
Game Awards.
believe Sean's not here.
What's that?
I said
Yeah,
I can't believe Sean's not here.
makes me very angry. Um, at first, I was like, "Oh my God, time travel in the Zelda universe! This is so wild!" And for a moment, I was like, "This is so crazy!" And I'm like, "Wait a minute! The whole point of Ocarina of Time was time travel. What am I doing?" And like time travel and different timelines has been at the root of the Zelda universe for the last 20 years. So it really isn't that crazy to think that we could have just all sorts of time limbo and things going on here with the Breath of the Wild stuff. He's really sick, Treon. I don't know. I think he's like passed out or something. He's Mitch, Sean. He's Mitch Sean's plant. And I think that covers everything. So in terms of a Nintendo Direct as a whole, love it, like it, hate it, or meh.
Mm,
As a Nintendo
I'll,
Direct partner showcase.
I'll go like it, because I thought they hit the nail on the head again with pacing, with what they had to include. They had a little bit for everyone. They had games for Zelda fans. They had games for people wanting that. Despite whatever the Nintendo Switch Pro or whatever looks like in the future, they've got games for right now that they're saying like, hey, it's still a possibility. With these cloud games. Yeah, I think it was Nintendo doing what they do best, and that's because this was shadow dropped, right?
Hmm.
No one really knew about this, and I think I like that Nintendo does that to kind of curb expectations. So overall, I'm going to give it a like it.
I'm gonna give it a love it. Not necessarily because I loved most of the content in it, but in terms of the format, the quality, the diversity, the speed, and the everything that was delivered. For a partner showcase, I think this is the best partner showcase they had all year. It was long enough, short enough. They had a little bit of everything. Finishing off with a demo of a highly anticipated game like Hyrule Warriors. It's really hard to beat. Presenting new tech like the cloud versions of Control and Hitman 3. There was just it was a good mix. Like it felt like there was literally something for everyone. I remember the last direct. I think everyone came out of that saying, "Oh, it was the direct of diversity." Like it felt like it focused a lot on the theme of diversity and stuff. Um, and you're not hearing people say that about this. I think there's something for everyone, and so it gets a love it from me. I
Nice.
too wish there was a Hollow Knight Silk song, but I wish there was a Hollow Knight Silk song and everything. And I guess we're just gonna have to wait till 2021 because we're not
I'm
getting
gonna
any
ask.
news of it this year.
I'm gonna ask the chat right now, but what do you think Sean would have given the overall Nintendo partner
I think
presentation?
he would say love it. I think he'd be pretty vocal about how good it was.
Hmm.
He tends to be fairly fairly supportive when they show a lot of diverse things, and I think this is something for right up his alley in terms of what a partner showcase should be.
Yeah, and again, I go back to like the cloud stuff and a lot of sentiment that was shared in the chat. Like, I think there's something else happening here that we're like not privy to the information, but I mean, you can kind of see, that they are trying these new things. They are open to this kind of technology. You've seen a lot of odds, like even the kart racers that they released recently, like the Sean guy. It's weird that Nintendo would go down these like alternative channels you know to put out this kind of tech. Like this is like supporting AR in 2020. Like, who would have thought Nintendo would be doing something like that? But these small ventures, I think, are gonna paint a bigger picture as to what's to come, or what Nintendo has planned in the future. And I think that's the most intriguing thing for me is like, where exactly are they going? Are they going to go lean on technology to create better visuals? Is it going to be the hardware? Is it going to be both? Are they going to have a streaming service? And I think there's a lot of unanswered questions, but I think some of it's being, some of the writing's on the wall right now, and I really like that about what Nintendo does and how they operate business.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some cool stuff from them on a tech perspective in next year.